I'll start where you finished because I would say there was a time when my answer to that would be speak up, use your voice. And I realized that that works sometimes, and sometimes that really doesn't work, which is unfortunate, but it is a reality. Um, and so I guess what I would say is go to someone you can trust who's removed from the situation. You don't have to have a paid coach. Someone who is on the outside who can understand the situation and reflect back to you and remind you that you are at choice. Every action you take, if you're in a situation like this, you have a choice. It's just each choice has a different set of consequences, and some of them you may or may not be able. They may be like out of reach. If you say I couldn't go 2 weeks without a paycheck, your strategy around handling this situation may be entirely different than someone says, you know what, if I took a year off, I would be fine. So I think a lot of times when we say speak up and use your voice, there's a privilege implied in that you're in an environment that can handle your truth. Um, and I've come to realize that that's not always the case, even when you think that it exists. So go to someone that you can trust and really try to get the circumstances outside of you and lay out your options. It's usually not a option one or two. There's almost always an option three. And just think through that. What are the consequences if I do these? And then I think when you do it, it's being willing to, I always use this sort of phrase like new data, now what? Take a step, new data, now what's the next step? And it's literally one step at a time, because ultimately you're dealing with how other people can react to your truth. And that's completely, Liz, to your point, outside of your control. You
Mhm.
can be as professional and pragmatic as you want, and it's outside of your control. But how they react, now you get to choose what's my next very best step. And I think if you have those people in your corner that can remind you of who you are, what's important to you, reflect back your well-being, I think it's essential to get through these really, really hard situations.